Good day and welcome to Women on the Move Live. Now, you know this show is for women who are in business, about business, and ready to do business. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, if you're a pace setter in the community, this show is for you. So what I need you to do is call a friend, tweet a friend, hit them up on Instagram, better yet, Facebook, and let them know that Women on the Move Live is on the air. Well, my guest today has trained at Georgetown, Harvard, and Yale. I'd like you all to welcome Dr. John Lipman. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. Now, you've been a physician for over 25 years.
Yes.
So, kind of what's a family practice, OB? What is your
I'm a radiologist and a specialty within radiology called interventional radiology.
Ah.
It's a field of medicine that replaces the need for traditional surgery. We can operate from the inside.
Oh.
So the procedures are safer, less invasive, shorter recovery, and there's no cutting. It's cutting edge without the cutting.
Okay, good. That's what we need in the 2018. Look, 2018. So basically, now I've read, oh guys, let me go here. I've read that you were named Atlanta Business Chronicle Physician of the Year, 2014. You were also Best Self Magazine Best Fibroid Doctor in Atlanta. So tell me about this fibroid non-surgical procedure that you are known for.
Well, it's called uterine fibroid embolization. It's also called uterine artery embolization.
Okay.
So UFE or UAE, it's the same procedure, completely non-surgical, outpatient. It treats all of the symptoms from fibroids. It does so very effectively. Patients go home the same day with just a Band-Aid at the top of their right leg.
Okay.
So it treats the symptoms. They go home the same day with a Band-Aid. There's a brief recovery at home. So they get the relief they're looking for. They avoid surgery altogether, and they get to keep their parts.
Okay.
A lot of women are losing their parts over benign fibroids.
Wow. So this is great news for a lot of women.
It's fabulous news for women because hysterectomy is the second most common surgery done in the United States, which is a little surprising because half the population, men, aren't even eligible. So we're doing a lot of hysterectomies.
Okay.
And the most common reason why we do this surgery is not cancer, which would be appropriate.
Right, okay.
It's for these benign fibroids.
Wow.
So why are we doing that? It's just we've always done it and we continue to do it. We don't need to do it because women are changed when they have a hysterectomy. And they're getting hysterectomies younger and younger. In fact, the average age is under 40. And I speak all over the country. In fact, I was at Tuskegee University talking to some fabulous women there last weekend.
Yes.
And women less than 30 had already had their hysterectomy for fibroids. They didn't want it. But they weren't told of any other option.
Wow, so this is great for women. I'm glad you're here to share this with the viewers and with our audience to let them know that there's another way to go. If they can at least ask for it, and if it's not there, you know, if they can definitely pick up the phone.
Absolutely, you need to get a second opinion. If you've been told you need surgery for fibroids, you got to get a second opinion from an interventional radiologist like myself that is expert in the treatment of uterine fibroids, because you do not need to have surgery, particularly hysterectomy.
Right.
Because they say, when you have a hysterectomy, it changes women. It changes them psychologically. It changes them sexually. It changes their bone chemistry, so they have a lot of bone loss. And African-American women who disproportionately suffer with fibroids often have low vitamin D based on the pigmentation of their skin. So you add low vitamin D and poor bone stuff, that's kind of the double whammy. And now we know it's important in heart health. The uterus is important. They want to throw it away after childbearing. You need to keep your parts.
I'm keeping all my body parts.
Exactly.
I have mine, Dr. Lipman. I'm still intact.
All right. Excellent.
Now, my goodness. Now, you're a volunteer physician with the Good Samaritan.
I do. I volunteer at Good Sam for people that don't have the means for traditional medical care.
That's
it's important.
Great.
I also volunteer at Morehouse School of Medicine, teaching some of the residents and the fellows and staff. We have people come from Morehouse to see our center. I also interview potential medical students that have applied to Morehouse.
Oh, wow.
So I get to see the next generation of physicians, and there's some we're in good hands.
We're in good hands. Okay, good.
I like to see the people coming up with their men and women on the move.
All right. That's right. So that's good. And it's, again, this is a good platform for what you do, because it's important that women, and I know you have this, the campaign about keeping your you or you.
Right.
And you brought this lovely T-shirt with you today.
Yeah, we're going to kick off the campaign on your show.
Don't lose your you. Okay.
Yeah, because it's obviously don't lose your you, meaning your uterus. But it's also your YOU. We don't want women to lose their YOU, because so often when you have a hysterectomy, it's not just about losing a body part, it's about losing part of you, what makes you a woman.
Wow.
And it's not necessary. You don't need to do it. So if you have fibroids, and fibroids are very common, in fact, it's the most common pelvic tumor in women. Up to 80% of African American adult women have these benign tumors.
And they don't have to, and again, you don't have to have that surgery where you just cut, snip, throw it away.
Right.
Basically, you can have something that's non-surgical.
Completely non-surgical.
And that can save you.
Right.
That can save you. I love it. I love it. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, you go home with a Band-Aid.
That's it. I like that, because a Band-Aid, it works well. I'd rather have that than a bunch of incisions.
Absolutely.
And then having to do the follow-up and all that goes with that.
Yep.
Well, this is great. I'm so glad you had time to come and share with us and tell us about this and the procedures that you're doing. You're doing some amazing things. I know that you work with quite a few women in the community. Of course, Miss Cynthia Bailey, as we all know.
Yeah, Cynthia's been fabulous. She was very brave. I mean, with the symptoms of fibroids, most notably these heavy periods, it's kind of an embarrassing subject to talk about, particularly when you're in the fashion and beauty industry. But she was brave enough and courageous enough to tell her story, because she knew there's so many other women that would benefit from what she went through.
Wonderful.
And God bless her that she took this on as her cause and kind of used her platform to really educate women that they have choices. You have options. You have options. And Sarah Elizabeth Reed is another.
Oh, our First Lady of Atlanta.
Our First Lady of Atlanta.
Yes.
She's been fabulous. She's one of our Fibroid Alliance warriors and getting the word out, and she's been tremendous. So there's been a number of really helpful women here that have just seen what we're doing and take the cause on and just sharing it as best they can.
All right. Well, this is great. Well, I'm glad that she's just being at the forefront of it. I'm glad to use this platform to share with women as well, because we want to save them. We want to save you. How about that?
Absolutely. We want them on the move, because when you're having hysterectomy, you're laid up for 2 months or more.
Wow.
You can't be laid up. In fact, Jovita Moore is another one. She did a special several weeks ago talking about her journey, the before and the during and the after, and she did fabulous. These women don't have time to be out of the game for 2 months.
I don't have time. No, I need to be on the move.
She had it on a Thursday. She was back in the anchor chair the following Tuesday.
Wow.
5 days. 5 days.
Well, I thank you so much, Dr. Lipman, for sharing with us and coming. And it's great. It's good to see you. Listen, go to WomenOnTheMoveTV.com. We're going to have a lot more information. I'm going to have links, also some video for you to check out on the procedures and what Dr. John Lipman is doing. And I'm going to take a break, and I'll be right back.
At Just For You, we provide a full range of women's services. We are passionate about providing personalized and intimate care to help our patients walk through the many phases of a woman's life. We provide preconceptual counseling, pregnancy and postpartum care, well woman exams, and menopause treatment, including bioidentical hormone therapy. We are located at 3976 Highway 42 in Locust Grove, Georgia.
Well, my next guest has been teaching in the performing arts for over 25 years. I want you all to welcome Miss LouAnn Stroman. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. To share some knowledge. Arts is very important to me.
It is.
My grandmother kept me in the arts. I mean, she made sure I had piano lessons, Lord. I didn't like my piano teacher, but she had me going in dance class. She just thought it was very important because she knew I wasn't going to be no cheerleader.
Well, the teachers make a difference, So whether or not I said, usually when my parents come to me it's like a double interview because I interview all of my kids before I take them. I have to see the commitment of the parent first.
Okay.
Because with PBF Arts, we are PBF Arts, Performance-Based Foundation for the Arts. And coming into this, it's more than just teaching for me. It's a ministry for me.
All right.
You know, and I believe that, you know, I moved here from New York.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Coming from New York and moved here with my husband and my son. 6 months, 7 months after we were here, my husband passed. So I had to go back into my quiet space and ask God, well, why did you bring me to Atlanta?
I know that's right.
You know?
Yes.
You know, I need to know because, you know, I left everything behind. You know, I worked with the Boys and Girls Choir of Harlem. I was one of the conductors for the Intermediate Girls Choir of Harlem.
Wow.
So I had left all of my friends, all of my profession there, you know, and coming here and then having that tragedy happen, you know, I actually had to sit down and think, okay, it's time, I must reinvent myself, you know.
Yes.
So the word that came back to me from God was that I will bless the works of your hand.
All right.
In other words, I've already prepared you to do the work that I've sent you to Atlanta to do.
Look at that. Well, all right, all right. That is great.
So
oh, my goodness.
My friends would say to me, well, are you moving back to New York? I said, no, I found my purpose in Atlanta.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at God. Look at that.
Look at God,
all right.
you know?
He did the doggone thing. Well, you've been teaching. Now, you have your performing arts foundation where you teach is in College Park.
It is New City of South Fulton now.
The New City of South Fulton, that's right. And you do ages 3 to
18, 19.
Okay,
High school, basically.
Wow, and you traveled, I mean, abroad. I mean, you trained
I've been on
all.
every continent except Africa.
Wow. So they're getting some good training.
Yes, they are.
Oh, my goodness.
In
Well,
my
performing
own
arts is
profession.
big. It's
Yes,
big.
it is. And I think, you know, for our parents, especially in our communities, you know, we try to keep our fees affordable, you know, so that parents who, you know, they live from day to day, I say we're the working poor.
All right, that's
know?
all right, that's all right.
So, you know, in order to afford the kind of attention and the lessons that we are trying to give the kids and instill in them, you know, it's sometimes hard to be able to afford those kinds of fees for professional teachers.
Right.
So we keep our lessons affordable, and then I have many kids that are also on scholarship.
All right.
They have the full load. They come, you know, but for me, it's part of the mission that I do.
That's
you know,
right,
to
that
give
purpose.
back, you know. When I was in college, I was blessed enough to have Dr. Howard Thurman come to my university.
Wow.
I graduated from Mississippi Valley State University.
Okay.
And he came one religious emphasis week during my freshman year. He heard me sing. And he said to my choir director then, he says, I'd like to hear her sing one more time before I leave campus.
Look at that.
So on the last day, he says, and I want to have a conversation with her. So afterwards, I went back to talk to him, and he said to me, well, I want you to write me and tell me what is the greatest dream that you have for your life. So I did. I followed through.
Okay.
I wrote him, and I told him I wanted to be a great opera singer. And so he said to me, as long as you have that dream, the money is there.
Look at that. That's great. Look at your journey. Has been wonderful.
My journey has been wonderful. I have been blessed, and now it's giving back time.
Yes,
you know,
all right. Well, I'm glad you're here to share because, I mean, people, our viewers, they need to hear this. People need to know that you exist and you're in the community and what you're doing is great.
Yes.
It's truly amazing. Like I told you, arts was big in my family. I mean, I grew up in a house with a piano. I own a home now with a piano. And I'm like, I got to get me some lessons. I got to get, so I heard, you know, you kind of told me, I might have to look at some. The adults is not really where your focus is. You said you stopped at 19, but that's all right. That's all right. But you know, my son, when he comes, he's in the military. When he comes, he gets his iPad up there and he's playing, and they all can play somewhat.
Yes.
But you know, like I said, when I was a little girl, my grandmother had me going to piano lessons. I just didn't like my teacher. I was like, man.
Well, the teacher is important.
Yeah, you said
the teacher
that.
is very, very important.
Yeah.
You know? So with us, PBF Arts is like a family.
Okay. Okay.
You know? And my kids who have come to me by word of mouth. We have never advertised for our students.
Look at that. That's great.
So we have now in the studio 45 kids, but usually we run from 45 to 50 kids. But because we're still working out of my home, we're looking for a new home space, actually.
You're going to get it.
So the space is too small, and I run, music camp out of my home.
Wow, look at your heart.
Kids, my kids are writing their own music.
Look at that.
I had several people to come in and start a string program for us, but all of this is out of my house.
Right, and it's PBF Foundation.
PBF Arts, but it stands for Performance-Based Foundation for the Arts.
Look at that. All right. That's good. That's good. But look, you've opened your home, you opened your heart because God showed you what your purpose was in being here. And I'm telling you, I know it's going to show through each and every child that you've touched or put their hands to, because you never forget. Once you learn that, once you learn the art, once you're getting the performing arts, you don't forget.
Well, the thing about it, too, is that it's basic to our children's learning. Now, we really focus on children. We focus on all children who are talented and gifted. But we have a heart for those children who have ADHD, dyslexia, and autism. So I have those students in my studio.
Wow.
So what we're trying to do now is, because I believe that everybody has a gift, but it just has to be tapped into. And that way, and I tell my parents when they come, look at your child. Understand what God has put in them.
Yes.
If you as a parent don't understand what God has put in your child, we usually miss the directions and they never really fully get to their destination,
Yes, yes.
What God has destined them to do.
Look at that. Well, this is great. I mean, it's truly amazing. And I mean, we can go, and I want to definitely make sure I have you come back because I want to hear and see some of your students play.
Yes, well, we brought one student today, but unfortunately, you're not going to hear him.
It's just time. I tell you that time.
But I'd like to say this while I'm on air is that we have two events coming up.
Okay.
One is in September the 8th. We have a Run for Music.
Okay.
And you can find us on active.com.
Okay.
And sign up. And I wish that anybody who has a heart for music, a passion for children, and learning, that they would please sign up and get groups to come and sign up.
And run. That's right. Okay. Run. That'll be good. Or walk.
And then in March 17th, which will be my 70th birthday.
All right, 70. Okay.
70th. We are going to have a gala. And it's, the title of it is A Celebration of Opera and Jazz.
A celebration of opera and jazz.
So some of the kids will be playing then, but we will have professional artists coming in, opera singers coming in, and I myself will be singing.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So none of my kids have actually heard me sing.
Okay.
They've always seen me in the teacher role.
Okay.
So this time, I'm deeming this section of my life completion.
All right. Well, this is great.
They will hear me sing this time.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to take a break. We'll be right back. When it comes to doing business, it pays to do it right the first time. That's why I call Price Boyd Law Firm. They specialize in business services, trademark, copyright, church law, and child care law. Attorney Andrea Boyd has the passion, the purpose, and the promise to make sure you adhere to the current laws and regulations. Well, my next guests are millennial women on the move. I'd like for you to welcome Soley, Marium, and Fatima. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, wow. This is my first time having 3 guests. So it's a first. But this is all good. So how did you guys meet?
Where did we even start? Well, this is my sister.
Yeah.
So they were from birth, and we've known Soley since high school.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe middle school.
Yeah.
We've had this weird thing where we've always known each other, but we were never really super close through middle and high school. And then after we graduated, we gravitated, and then it's been together.
Inseparable. ever since.
Inseparable.
Yeah.
Well, you three make up House 11.
Yes.
And that was something that you came up with. You're the CEO. So tell me, what is House 11?
Well, I started Broken Crayons first 4 years ago. That was a nonprofit. And then maybe a year and a half ago, towards the end of 2016, my mom had an African hair braiding salon, and she retired, and she was like, you know, and I was tired of working my corporate job. Did I know what I was doing? Absolutely not. But I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll take your business. Let me try it. She thought I was joking at first, but we ended up remodeling it and making it a full-service salon. She ran it very mom and pop style. We added the, you know, the social media and things like that. And then 6 months into it,
I came along.
Soley.
Yeah.
And
I built their website.
Yeah, we basically taught ourselves everything that
we
needed business-wise. So then we started thinking, hey, we already help women, you know, with mental things that they're dealing with certain kind of abuse. How about we also put women in powerful positions?
Yeah.
Wow. So you built the website?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did all that. So that's part of your background, Soley?
Actually, it's not part of my background. That's just I self-taught.
Oh,
Kind of
good.
just figured
Look
it
at
out.
that.
Yeah. Figured out how to
Gifts
do
that
it.
we have, the gifts that we're given. These are just gifts that God gives us. So, Marium, what's your part? What
So
role did
I'm
you jump
creative
in?
director for House 11. So we do a lot. We do graphic design, logos, website design, and we're now opening a workspace in the Vinings area, and it's only for women. And it has a photography studio, a coffee bar, a conference room. So any type of woman will be able to come and just relax. So I help with creative direction. We do everything. Like we
She's
are
also
a
our
squad.
organization.
Yeah. So I organize everything. So yeah, we're a team. We're a squad.
that's
so we
great.
all help each other's back.
Well, it's good to see that, you know, and I wanted to make sure I touched on that because, you know, everyone needs to see our millennials and you beautiful young women and what you're doing and how you're helping other women, because it's about helping women in the community. You talked about you help them with mental issues or abuse. You talk about, you know, as I was reading, financially. And it's good that we're coming together as a community to help women. So it's by women for women.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now tell me about Broken Crayon Still Color. That's your nonprofit.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
So we actually host Girl Talks, which is really cool events where we allow women to come in and we give them a safe space. We'll have a licensed therapist there, licensed psychologist, and we'll talk about taboo topics like mental health, insecurities. Our last one was on rape culture. Actually, so we'll talk about really, really heavy-hitting topics.
Because that's the mold of our nonprofit. Our nonprofit's geared towards women who are sexually and mentally or physically abused or emotionally abused. So we provide coping mechanisms, proper defense mechanisms towards the trauma that they've had in the past, and then we put them in positions like if you are a past person that struggled with physical, mental, or sexual abuse, we combine that with House 11. So if you want to, you know, be a photographer or anything like that. So we'll put you in a position to make your dreams come true. So we just want to help women who have been abused be well-rounded.
Well-rounded. And that's good because they need that because, again, they've been attacked, they've been through so much. So they need something to kind of get them back on track. And House 11 will help kind of mold them and get them back or help them to find who they are or what their dreams are,
Find out
what they
who
want
they
to do.
are specifically.
That
the
is
main
great.
part.
That is great. So Broken Crayon Still Color. I love that.
Thank you.
Oh my God. So those are the visions that you have for women. So now you say you do girl talks, and that means it kind of come like, and it was all like a round
table
type thing. And we
discussion.
just get together as women, and we're just going to lay it all on the table. So when you get the women together, you know, kind of in this setting, how do you get them to open up?
Well, the first thing that we do is once women come, we have them sign non-disclosure agreements, and that kind of gives them a certain feeling of protection because most people don't speak originally because, you know, what I tell you, I might not want repeated. So the non-disclosure agreement is first, and second, we just allow like the first 30 minutes to an hour to be something where we just engage with each other. We're just talking, you're getting to know the women around you, and we get kind of comfortable, and then we go into, and a lot of times we pop it off by telling our story, like, hey, this is what happened to me or what's going on with me, just so women can notice the familiarity in it.
Okay, and they get comfortable.
Yes.
Now, what are the ages of the women?
We do 2 different type of girl talks. There's the girl talks where we have women 21 and older, where we might talk about heavier topics, and then we also have girl talks where it's 16 and older, where we might talk about, you know, just like boys or insecurities. But whenever we get super heavy topics, we always try to do 21 above.
Right. Okay. And do they submit? How do you know, like, when it's time? You know, like, is there like a certain place that they, you know, how do you know when you get ready to do the Broken Crayon Still Color? You know, that lovely foundation. I love the name. I love the name. How would I know to want to get on Girl Talk? Is it you just put it out through social media and people just sign up? Okay.
Yeah. So first, our social media handles are House 11 Co. So that's HOUS 11 CO.
Okay.
So that's for Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
So we'll post it out there, and mostly the events are free. Like we don't want to charge people to come tell
their
us about
story.
themselves. So
It's
we
like
don't
a therapy session, kind of,
we usually get between 50 and 100 girls to come and just talk.
Wow.
Yeah, and we start off with topics like relationships to start opening it up. But people don't know that, for example, 55% of people who have been killed, like women who have been murdered, were murdered by their spouse.
Wow.
So little stuff like relationships and teaching that to younger women is really important to us. So.
Okay, well, this is good. This is great. I mean, you guys are doing some amazing things. It's good to see young women, you know, really out here trying to make a difference in the community for other women, and for them to get together and share. And it's kind of like almost like a my sister, my friend type situation. And we need that because there's so much going on in the community. There's so much going on right now in the world of women. You know, this is our year.
Yes, it is.
More than ever. Don't get me started. But you know, again, we do have that small. We have another group that is just a little insecure. They just need a little. They've been through so much abuse or whatever it is, the trials that they need that other half. So we got to kind of get a balance or go over and help someone. I had a guest, you know, my guest, Dr. Carmicha Burton. She always talking about do the elevator. You know, one lift one.
Go out there.
You know, so we have to do that, and it's important. So I'm proud of you, ladies. I'm glad to have you on and just to share what you're doing. Look, guys, go to WomenOnTheMoveTV.com. You'll hear more about House 11 and Broken Crayon Still Color. Go to WomenOnTheMoveTV.com to get more information and link with these lovely ladies. I thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
At Laser Lights Cosmetic Laser Center, your family. We offer a comprehensive menu of cosmetic procedures from non-surgical fat reduction to laser hair removal. Our medical director, Dr. David Whiteman, along with our skilled medical team, provides top-notch care in a friendly, comforting environment. Hi. Welcome to Laser Lights Cosmetic Laser Center. I'm Jackie Madison, the practice administrator here, and I'd like to welcome you to our family.
Look, I want to thank you all for tuning in to another week of Women on the Move Live. I want to thank my guests, Dr. Lipman, Ms. Stroman, and also the ladies of House 11, Marium, Soley, and Fatima, for joining us today and sharing all the great things they're doing for women in the community. Look, guys, go to WomenOnTheMoveTV.com to check out whatever you've missed, to link to all my guests. And I want to let you know that this show is being brought to you by Ohio Christian University in Morrow. I'm Kim McNair. I'm signing off, and I'll see you all next week.